Hi, Mike here with another one of my RV videos. I've made some on why I chose the kind of RV I did, which was a Class B, a van, a Coachman Beyond. The things I'm going to buy for it, how I'm going to prepare for collecting it. This one is about where we're going to put it when we get it. We have to give some thought to that and decide what we were going to do. I've been thinking about this video for a while, quite often while I'm out walking or running in the local woods, so I figured I'd actually record this while I'm out walking, so let's go for a walk. One thing to consider is that we live in New England, in Massachusetts, and we'll get anywhere from a foot or more of snow falling a couple of times a year, sometimes more, sometimes less. So I thought about, well, should I store it somewhere undercover? There are places you can store RVs undercover. You have to pay for it, of course. But doing a little bit of research, I realized that well, what I'm buying is basically a Ford Transit van, which is a working van, and it's quite capable of handling the snow, so it doesn't matter being outdoors. Some people cover their RVs that are outdoors. There are advantages and disadvantages, so I'm not planning on doing that. So our preference was very much to keep it at our house, on our property, and that's what we're going to do. So for keeping it on our property, we have to figure out where. Well, if you look at the driveway, we can't keep it in the garage because it's not going to fit. So if we put it on the driveway, it will fit in the turnaround, but that would mean we couldn't use the turnaround, and we like using the turnaround for safety reasons. We could turn the cars around in the drive without the turnaround, but there's always a danger that we'd accidentally back into the van, so that's not a good idea. So we didn't really want to keep it on the turnaround. So if we put it on the side of the garage, we'd have to make some adjustments to the yard. The ground tails off, so there would need to be some leveling of the ground to be done. There's also a gas line underneath, and I don't know how easy it would be to sort of extend the driveway out there, whether we did asphalt or ground stone. So, and we'd also have to take out a yew tree, so there'd be quite a lot of work. It'd be quite expensive. We'd lose a yew tree, and weren't so keen on that as an option. About to go up a hill. It actually was the original town trash dump, but now it's just a pleasant hill. So there is the other side of the house, which has a nice pretty flat grassy spot, so that looked pretty good. In fact, if we didn't make any adjustments to the land, that is where we would put it. A couple of disadvantages of just storing it on the grass there. By that side of the house, it's getting a bit tiring going up this hill. By that side of the house, there are a lot of chipmunks, and don't really want them to be jumping in, biting their way through cables and things. Also, how to clear it out in the winter, I'd have to drive push the snowplow over the grass, so I wasn't too keen on that. But by default, that's where we were going to put it. So that was the decision. Nice little view from the top of the trash dump. Okay, so there are some things that we could do to improve the site, and the first thing I did was to have our friendly electrician Neil Hardery, who's done lots of work for us over the years, come in and install a 30 amp circuit on the outside of the house. At his suggestion, we added a 110 circuit there as well. So this is a way to give the RV power during the winter. I mentioned before that the lithium batteries don't like the cold, so it's a way I could use the heater, which can be driven off electric, to keep the van a little bit warm. I'll have to monitor how cold it does get around where the batteries are. Probably get some kind of remote thermometer that I can check off my phone, and if really necessary you can buy some kind of extra heating devices to keep the batteries warm. So that was the first thing. Neil did that, did a great job with that. Okay, so now we've got the electrics. It's not in the ideal place because we probably backed the van in, and the electric outlet on the van, as with many RVs, is on the back of the driver's side, which would make it not the side against the wall, but I can string a wire underneath the van. That's not a problem. If we didn't have that 30 amp circuit in, we do have outside 110 circuits that we could string a long wire to, but that wouldn't give us much power, so having a 30 amp circuit is great. So we could just drive the van, as I said, across the grass from the front of the yard into that area. But if you notice, there's actually quite a nice straight run from the side of the house to the road, through a gap between a couple of large trees. So we wonder what it would take to build a driveway out to the road there, and got a couple of quotes. Ended up going with a local supplier in Westwood, Legacy, and the first thing was to figure out the trees near the road. There was some large dead branches on one of the big trees that needed to come down. One of the big trees needed to come down because it was not going to be stable when the driveway was put through it, with all the roots that would be taken out. And there were a couple of smaller trees that were in the way. These were just sort of your average fir tree. It's not like we were taking out a more specialized tree like the yew tree on the side of the garage. So we had Scots, who we've used many times, in fact used them earlier this year to do the tree work. So they came and took out the trees and cut rid of the branches, and we had their stump remover scheduled to take out the stump of the large tree that was by the wall. We didn't need the stumps removed from the smaller fir trees. But I wasn't around when they came, and they did the trees that we didn't need having done. Now I've always said that the test of a relationship is not how things are when they're going well, but how you deal with something that doesn't go the way you expected. So they were great with this. They apologized, and so they would come back and do the one that we actually needed to have done. They didn't charge any extra, of course, which meant we basically got 2 stumps ground free of charge. I also wasn't there when they ground the one that we wanted to have done, but I taped it and it was very obvious what needed to be done. Their stump grinding machine is a pretty amazing piece of equipment. Like I said, I wasn't there, but I did have them remove a stump earlier in the year, so here's a little bit of a video of that. So with the trees out the way and the gacy lined up, we had them build a crushed stone driveway. That would be cheaper than asphalt or tarmac from my UK viewers. Bit of confusion in the summer talking to somebody about tarmac, which they referred to as asphalt. Anyway, they said that if we ever sold the house, we have no plans to do that near or medium term, but if we ever sold the house and somebody didn't want that extra driveway, it wasn't much work to take up a crushed stone driveway, but to take up An asphalt slash gravel slash tarmac driveway would be a lot more work. So we went with a crushed stone driveway, which they did, and part of that was to redirect a drain pipe to go under the new drive, which they did. And also they'd said that it wasn't going to cost much extra to put in a septic connection to our septic tank, so I could dump the wastewater out of the van at our house, which is something I was interested in doing, even though there is a dump station at Lowell about 20 minutes drive away. So we have a manhole cover over our septic tank, so I could have dumped it in there just by lifting up that cover, but that's much further away from where the van is, and it's also basically it's pretty nasty. If you take up that cover, it just goes straight down into the septic tank. So they dug a trench, put in a new pipe, and that was it. And here's some film of them doing the work.
He digs it out. He's going to mount it on the sides, and then we'll slope it afterwards.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So I got it tied in here. I cut it in with a T. So running up over here. And then your clean out is going to be up there.
Great.
That's just a regular cap. I'm going to actually get you an insert with the screw-on cap. I just don't have one.
Looks like they've done a nice job. Of course, I've got some landscaping to do in the spring. Can't plant any grass right now. So let's come down here. So they redirected the drain pipe underneath. Comes out here. Now they put some stone so it doesn't wash away so much. Here's the electrics that I had done earlier. and they even put in an outlet for the sewage. Goes down to the septic tank there. So that's it, all ready for the RV. Okay, so now we have the drive, we have the septic hookup, we have the electric hookup, but where's the RV? It's now mid-December 2021. I ordered it late December 2020. So I'd been getting a little bit frustrated because I know people that ordered these vans back in February and March have been starting to take delivery. But I did find out that just the other week that it does have a scheduled build date, and I got a VIN number, a vehicle identification number. Should be built by now, so hoping I might just get it before Christmas. We'll see. But we have a home for it, and we're looking forward to starting some journeys in it. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the next video will be about collecting the van and how that goes. So hopefully see you then. Bye for now.